Hey guys, welcome back to Scarecrow's Games. I am Scarecrow, and today I thought we'd be taking a look at all the components that make up my personal PC. I find these kind of videos interesting. I hope you do too. As somebody who's relatively new to PC gaming, I thought it'd be a fun and interesting look at all the parts that make up my personal gaming rig, and hopefully maybe one day you'll make a video response to this and show me what's inside your PC. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, the brain of this PC that I'm running here is an Intel i5 6600K clocked at 3.5 gigahertz. The reason I chose this particular CPU is because it was quad core. I wanted something that could give me a little bit of longevity in the future, something that could play any modern game, something that would be good for productivity, such as things like YouTube. Also, I wanted something with a clear upgrade path. The i5 6600K uses the LG A1151 socket, which gives me a lot of choices if I ever want to move up to an i7. Plus the price was right, and it came bundled with my GPU. Now as far as cooling for the i5 goes, the K models do not come with a stock PC cooler, so I had to look at something aftermarket. So I decided to go with the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. I heard excellent reviews online about this thing. I watched a ton of videos on it. It keeps the PC nice and cool, and the price was very, very reasonable. The hardest part about this cooler was actually the installation on it. It's such a big cooler, and you actually have to go up under the motherboard to install one of the brackets for it. But once it's on, and it is good to go. I think my PC is usually running around, I don't know, maybe 35 to 45 degrees Celsius under full load, so I mean, not bad at all. Moving on from there, I wanted to install additional fans in my PC, as you can never have too much airflow. Now of course my PC case came with one fan in the front, one fan in the back, and it really kept it relatively cool. My GPU was topping out at almost 70 degrees Celsius, and that was a little concerning, so I wanted to kind of try to knock that down a little bit and throw some more fans in it. So I went with the Corsair Air Series Quiet Edition 120mm red LED fans. Now that is a bit of a mouthful, but these things were easy to install. Just hook up to 4-pin Molex to the 3-pin fan connectors, and you're good to go. So far so good. These things have kept my PC pretty quiet, knocked a few degrees off that temperature, and they kept everything nice and cool. So moving on from there, we're going to talk about the motherboard I chose and the reason why I chose it. Now the motherboard I went with is the ASRock B150M Pro V4 LGA 1151. Now this is kind of on the cheaper side for motherboards. I think I wanted to say I paid maybe $67 to $70, somewhere in that, for this thing. Now that comes with some limitations. Now of course I wanted a Z series motherboard, because that would give me the ability to overclock in the future, because I do have an unlocked CPU. However, it was coming down to crunch time, and my budget was getting smaller and smaller, and this was one of the last parts that I purchased for my PC, and I really just wanted to be able to game. So I took the hit, decided I could always upgrade that motherboard later, and went with this ASRock. And you know, I gotta say, I am actually very happy with it. It has all the connections that you would normally need, and really nothing you don't. It's kind of all business. But with that being said, I haven't had any issues with it. I like the board a lot, and in the future I do still plan on upgrading to a Z series board. But for now, it is serving me well. And on that note, let's talk about what's pushing power into my PC. For this, I went with an EVGA 600p 80 plus bronze power supply. The reason I chose this was at the time it was $50, so I'm really not sure why in this picture I'm rolling in that the price is so much higher, or why it's coming directly from China. But at the time, like I said, it was $50, and it's non-modular, so you know, you just got to deal with the mess of cables. But I wanted something that was over at least 500 watts. In the past, when I had bought a pre-built computer, it must have been a very small power supply. I really didn't know anything about computers at the time, and that thing actually blew up on me and took the whole computer with it. So I wanted to make sure that I kind of went a little bit overboard on the power supply. So I went with a 600 watt. So yeah, so far so good. I don't plan on doing any kind of crossfire or anything like that as of the moment, but maybe if I do in the future, I'll buy one that's a little bit more modular and try to avoid the mess. But for now, that is what I'm rolling with. So for RAM, I went with G-Skill Aegis 8GB, two 4GB DIMMs at 2133. The reason I went with this kit is honestly it matched my color scheme. It was red and black, which is exactly what I was looking for. The price was right. I want to say I paid $55 for it at the time. I know RAM has been going up lately, which kind of sucks because I am looking to upgrade to 16GB, but for now, 8GB is actually serving me pretty well. As far as gaming goes, I have yet to play a game that's maxed it all the way out, but I know in the future it's coming, so I might as well just go ahead and upgrade to 16GB, and I know it'll do better for productivity and web searching and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm running right now. So for storage options, I went with the Western Digital Blue 1TB 7200 RPM hard drive. This seems to be everybody on YouTube's go-to hard drive, and with good reason. I mean, this thing is fast, it's reliable, it hasn't given me any problems, it's very quiet. Yeah, and at $50, I mean, you just can't beat it for a terabyte. So I like it. Now, of course, I wanted to go with a SSD on top of that to run my operating system to just kind of smooth everything out and speed everything up, but I am kind of on a budget at the moment, so that just wasn't in the cards. Now, I did recently purchase a Seagate Barracuda 2TB 7200 RPM hard drive as well, just to give me a little bit extra storage, because when I start making these videos like this, it does eat up a lot of room. Plus, my Steam library has grown exponentially, way faster than I thought, so I needed some mass storage. So maybe in time I'll get that SSD, but for now I'm just running with two standard hard drives. Alright, so now for everybody's favorite part, let's talk about the graphics card. For this, I went with an MSI Radeon RX 480, the 8GB OC Armor Edition. This thing is a beast, man. Like, one of the reasons I chose this because it can just crush 1080p gaming. Now, personally, I don't even have a 1080p monitor. I'm currently gaming on a 1366 by 768 TV. But it suits the purposes for now, and I'm definitely going to upgrade in the future. But for now, this is what I got. So like I said, this came bundled with my CPU. So for $400, I got the i5 and the 8GB RX 480 with Doom and Civilization 6. So, I mean, you can't beat that. So, yeah, I jumped all over that as soon as I could. Those were actually the first two components I bought for the CPU, and they pair together extremely well. So I would definitely recommend this graphics card to anyone who's on a budget and looking for some really good, solid gaming performance. So lastly, let's talk about the case that houses all these components. For this, I went with the Corsair Carbide Spec 03. Now, the reason I chose this case is really the dumbest reason to choose anything, but I can't lie. It looked fucking awesome, and that's the reason I went with it, because it just looks mean. That grill in the front with the red LEDs, I mean, there's just something about it. I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. But on a more practical note, it will house pretty much all these components. I didn't have any trouble getting anything in there. The quality of this case is definitely there. It's got a nice look to it, nice feel to it. Everything seems real quality. It's got a large glass side window. The window kind of bows out to the side a little bit, so you got plenty of room for that Hyper 212 cooler. So yeah, that is my PC. And for those of y'all wondering, yes, I did give it a name. I called this beast the Cell. It is constantly a work in progress. Like I said, I'm going to keep upgrading the system as I go along, and you know, hopefully you guys will get to take that ride with me. But for now, if you guys have any questions or comments or anything you just want to talk about, feel free to send me a message or leave a comment, and I'll try to get back with you. But yeah, so that is my PC. Maybe you can make a video response, let me know what's in yours. So please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good shit, or just, you know, tell me I suck, give me a dislike, whatever. I got thick skin, I don't care. But yeah, hope you guys have a good day, and thanks for watching. Peace.